Hello and welcome back to the Football Brehz podcast, a platform where we discuss, we debate, and banter. I'm your host for today, Kieron, and our special guest, our expertise in the football field. We have United representative, we have James. We also have Liverpool representative, Dwayne, and we have Wolves representative, Simp. How is everyone doing today? Everyone good?
All good,
Very well,
as always.
Very well.
Okay, so today's podcast, something slightly different. We're bringing you another topic show. We're trying to bring more topic shows to you this year. But the topic of today is which teams will be affected most with players leaving for AFCON. So AFCON started last weekend, I believe. And the fact that now we've got quite a few runner games coming up, not only in the league, but we've also got cup games coming up, and they might possibly be away for European Cup ties as well. So that being said, let's get stuck straight into it. And let's look at the players that are going to be away. Let's start from let's go alphabetical order actually. Let's start from the top. So Arsenal, they have Thomas Partey playing for Ghana. They have Mohamed Al Nene playing for Egypt. We've got Pierre Emerick Aubameyang playing for Gabon. We've got Nicolas Pepe for Ivory Coast. And we've also got Omar Rekik, who actually plays for under 23s, but he actually plays for Tunisia as well. Now, that is a fat list. To start things off with, those players there, I would say our most key player is Thomas Partey. Then we're looking at possibly a toss-up between Pepe and El Nene, and then Aubameyang. James, that is a big list. How do you think Arsenal will cope without these players? You're muted, mate. What's going on?
Sorry, my apologies. Deaf already. But yeah, no, it's a big list, but it's not really your starters so much. So like Pepe hasn't really been playing that often. Partey probably really hasn't been playing that often, to be honest with you. It's just been standing around. But and then you've got Aubameyang, who's I thought didn't he test positive as well just before?
African but I think
a few days before
he's still allowed. He's still allowed to. He's isolated and he'll come back after what? Or
so I think he should play for Gabon's second game. I believe he should be ready to play for them.
Oh, okay. But either way, even if he was at Arsenal, he wouldn't be playing, right? Because of all of the stuff that's going on. They're trying to sell him and whatnot,
possibly,
right?
Yeah, possibly.
Obviously, with regards to Rekik, or however you say his name, he's not a player for you either. Who else is maybe El Nene. Obviously, Partey's your biggest miss because he plays for you generally, but Pepe not really, because Martinelli and Saka and that are playing. I don't think Arsenal's one is that bad, to be honest with you. Apart from Partey, you've got other players that can fill in. I think Partey, like he did play well against City, but he hasn't been in that great form either. Maybe that would have been the linchpin for him to start, but I don't know. I don't think you've got that. It's a lot of players, but it's not that bad for you because most of them ain't playing.
Well, saying that though, I think Partey has actually been growing into the game, and I say the City game is a great benchmark for showing what he's actually capable of doing. I think that was possibly his best game in an Arsenal shirt, and the fact that now he's gone, we're missing our core. You know what I'm saying? Like he was someone that kind of kept things ticking, and he gave us that stability in the midfield. So the fact that now he's gone, and the person that would have deputized underneath him is El Nene, the fact that they're both gone, and we've got these cup games coming up as well. They definitely would have played. I know.
That's
El
true.
Nene would have played. I know Pepe would have played as well in a couple of the cup games. Dwayne, anything you want to share on this? The fact that there's so many players out. Do you think Arsenal can bounce back from this, and possibly get those results?
I agree with James on that. I don't think I think a lot of the players that you mentioned are actually starters for you. You don't really look towards Pepe, to be honest, to be for you. I think Partey is a big miss. He has stepped up in the last few games, to be honest with you. But I feel is where you're going to be quite short now for the next few weeks. So I think that will probably be the area that you're going to be hit the most. But other than that, I don't think it's going to be a massive hit on your club.
What about yourself, Sam? Anything you want to throw in?
Oh, to be fair, I'm going to disagree with both. I think it's going to be a tough time for Arsenal with Thomas Partey and Elneny going, because you're reliant on an individual who shouldn't be in an Arsenal shirt in terms of Granit Xhaka. Like, he shouldn't be wearing an Arsenal shirt for me. He doesn't have the ability. He doesn't have the mentality. And now you're reliant on him to lead the midfield when arguably he shouldn't even be anywhere near the midfield for Arsenal, in my opinion.
Very true.
Yeah, you're right.
So, when you look at it from that perspective, I mean, Pepe, unfortunately, it hasn't worked out for him, going to Arsenal. Maybe it will, maybe it won't. Aubameyang, I think it's atrocious what he's done and his behaviour. The sooner he leaves Arsenal Football Club, the better for me. But yeah, I think it's going to be it's certainly going to test this group of young players. I've said it on previous shows. This group of young players, something special is building at Arsenal right now. It's an exciting time. This period now with Partey and Elneny, this may upset that balance that you've struck. Who knows? We'll see.
That was very nice words there for Arsenal, and I want to see if you can say the same thing about some of your rivals now. So let's talk about Aston Villa. Aston Villa, they have Mohamed Trezeguet playing for Egypt, and they have Bernard Traore as well playing for Burkina Faso. I believe that's how you say it. How do you think? Yeah, how do you think you're doing? How do you think they're going to get on, Simp?
I think Villa will be absolutely fine. I mean, it's hilarious to me because the Villa fans that I've spoke to, I don't really have that much of an issue with Villa. Like, it's a local derby, but it's nowhere near to the level of a Baggies game, or even if we were to play Blues. Villa, it is what it is.
So when you say Blues, who are you talking about?
Birmingham City.
Birmingham, okay then. So Birmingham and West Brom.
Yeah. So, but in terms of Villa are absolute. They're just doing a madness in the transfer market. Coutinho's come in there. It looks like Luca Digny's signed, sealed, delivered, 25 million. The players that they're bringing in, the guys that you've mentioned that have gone off to the African Cup of Nations, they're non-entities for Villa. It's not going to affect them in the slightest. But going back to what I was saying to start with, Villa fans actually laughed at me when I said, you have got a gem of a manager in Steven Gerrard. Just for his pull alone, maybe not, I mean, he's proving tactically, coaching, that he can compete. But previous to that, just his pull, just his profile as an individual will bring players in. And he showed that with the Coutinho signing, Luca Digne as well, and Villa fans laughed at me. No, they can't sing his praises enough.
Very true. It's very, very good signing for them. There's
I don't think Villa will have a problem. I don't think Villa will have any problems whatsoever with the departures that they've had.
Okay. So up next, let's talk about Brentford. And James, we're going to go over to you because you should be playing Brentford on the weekend, and they have out Frank Olaniyan. He'll be playing for Nigeria. How do you think Brentford will get on without Frank?
Well, I can't see them having any issues at all. To be honest with you, from what I know, I don't really know him. Okay. Does anyone else here? Can they enlighten me about him? Is he?
Yeah. Is there holding DM? That's why for me, that's why they're shipping the goals.
Oh, the short guy.
The center, the CDM.
Yeah. I know. I didn't know his name.
Yeah, the CDM. So for me, like with Brentford, them losing him. I mean, you saw it last night against Southampton. They're just shipping goals for fun now because they have not.
They were completely open in the middle.
Open. They're completely open. They don't have the protection. It just goes to show how important he is to them. I think you'll see Brentford on a decline while he's at AFCON.
I didn't know it was that player. To be fair,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know it was him. So I was thinking it was just like for Arsenal, like Rekic. Like, it wouldn't matter to them. But yeah, thanks, Sebs.
Boy, so let's go on to our next team. We have let's go over to you, Dwayne. Brighton, because I know Liverpool's had some thrilling games with Brighton over the past couple of seasons. They have Yves Bissouma. He's playing for Mali, and I know at one point you guys are linked to him as well. And they've also, oh my days, I'm gonna butcher this name, Yorick Eneme Ella. I think that's how you might pronounce his name. He's playing for Gabon. Yeah.
I'm not too familiar with him. I don't recall. I don't think he's one of the main starters for Brighton, though, is he?
I have no idea. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't think so.
No, he's not.
Not that I've seen.
A massive, major miss for them. Massive.
Mm-hmm.
I honestly think he's the best DM in the league at the moment. I think he's been absolutely brilliant. Every time I see him, he's dominating games. Brighton look a complete different outfit when he's in the middle. They're going to miss him big time now over the next few weeks.
Okay. Well said. Let's go over to Burnley. Burnley, they have Max Cornet. He's playing for the Ivory Coast. Semp, how are you feeling about Maxwell Cornet? Do you think Burnley have enough to work without him?
They should have. Sean Dyche is astute enough to have deal with it. I like Cornet. I do like him. Very pacey, can go forward. I like him. I think he'll be a miss, but he won't be a catastrophic miss, especially with the way Burnley play. Burnley very defensive outfit. Sean Dyche, very astute manager, knows what he's doing. No, he's been around the block. I don't think it would be too catastrophic for Burnley, to be honest.
Okay, Dwayne, I see you want to say something.
I think it is, because remember Newcastle's about to take Chris Woods from him. They haven't got a decent forward. They're going to be hit. Yeah.
Wow.
Losing Chris, that's to go out.
That in itself is a travesty, to be honest.
Yeah, 20 million for him was shocking, but it's taken literally their only forward that they've got, really.
Crazy. Let's go on to the next team. We're going to go over to you next, James. We don't need to discuss who you also thought was leaving this team, but we're going to talk about Chelsea, and they are missing Edouard Mendy, who is going to Senegal. Now, for me, this is going to be a huge miss because they've got Kepa. And Kepa and Mendy are two different kettle of fish.
100%. Kepa's just not. Kepa is capable of a good game, but you've seen the worst of him as well, and that worst has come all too often. Mendy's been incredible for them. So even just from playing out from the back, that's going to be a miss for them because Kepa ain't the worst, but he gave away a lot of goals, just like Leno did. It was a similar thing like that was happening with Kepa and Leno, wasn't it? Where they was passing out and making it wrong. I think the Mendy one is going to be a big miss, and that's another reason why I predicted City will beat them by quite a bit.
Do you not think, though, that there's a potential, because it's different manager, different defence, that we could see a different Kepa?
No,
because I think his weaknesses are what particularly Tuchel wants. If that makes sense, you know what I mean? Like, so I'll say playing out from the back wasn't. He was decent at times, but Chelsea were gifting goals away with Kepa trying to play out from the back. It's just like Man United. De Gea is not great at playing out from the back. So we wouldn't, if we want to play out from the back, we really need a new keeper. You know what I mean? And Kepa's that sort of a similar thing, but worse. I think that's going to be a big one for them. I think they're more detrimental. It's more detrimental to him than probably Arsenal's 5 that have gone.
Yeah, very. I agree with that actually. Semp, let's go back to you. We have Everton. They will be without Alex Iwobi, who will be playing in Nigeria. He's been a bit of a bit part player for Everton, but he runs quite a bit for them. He does create chances as well. How do you think Everton will cope without Iwobi?
It's a very tough time for Everton. I mean, you look at their start to the season, and then you look at what's happened. There's banners being held up calling to get Rafa out, etc. It's a very troublesome time for Everton in general. I think it's the wrong time to lose any player, to be honest. Rafa needs everyone at his disposal. And like you say, Iwobi's been a bit bar player, but he's an impact player, someone that he can throw on at 70, 75 minutes, fresh legs, pace. And he has got some ability. He has got some ability. So I think just that player in itself won't affect Everton so much, but it's going to be a tough period for Everton regardless.
Iwobi's decent, man. He's decent.
He is. You know what, James? Let's stick with you then. Well, let's go to Leicester. Leicester have Daniel Marte for Ghana. They have Nepal's Mende.
Yeah.
Nepal. I think I might butcher
Nepalese.
He's playing for Senegal. They've got Wilfred Ndidi playing for Nigeria, and they've also got Kelechi Iheanacho for Nigeria as well. Now I think in terms of Arsenal, I think that's the next team with a lot of players going to AFCON. How do you think they're going to cope?
I think more for them, it's more Kelechi and I'll say the first name because I can't say the second.
Amate.
Is it?
Amate or Mende?
No, Kelechi.
Iheanacho.
Whatever, however you say his name. So yeah, I'll say Kelechi and then Didi, obviously the two big ones, because Amate's a fill-in right back, isn't he? Usually, Mendy is a backup to Ndidi as well. If I'm right, he isn't he? Mendy is a backup to like Ndidi anyway. So for them, yeah, that's going to be quite detrimental because Ndidi's a big miss for them. Even though he isn't having the greatest season for it, and Kelechi as well, because if Vardy gets injured potentially as well, or he's missing, that could be like detrimental for them. But
which Vardy's been going?
Sorry,
who's this Daka play for?
Vardy's had a bad,
Leicester as well.
Bad run of
Daka. Who's what country?
Yeah, it's true. Who?
Oh, Daka. I think he's European. I don't think he hasn't gone AFCON for sure.
Okay.
Yeah, I think Vardy's been quite injury prone this season, so missing Iheanacho, Ndidi, huge miss for Brendan Rodgers. They're going through again a similar sort of rough patch, Leicester. So for Brendan Rodgers to lose those two players in particular, it's going to be tough.
All right, let's go over to back to you, Dwayne. I'm going to talk about your team, Liverpool. We spoke about this 2 days ago. You have Mo Salah playing for Egypt. You have Naby Keita playing for Guinea. And you've got Guinea, sorry, and you've got Sadio Mane playing for Senegal. Oof. Take it away, man. You might have to unload on this one.
Yeah, it's a big miss when you don't have Salah in the side. He's practically scoring, assisting all the time every week, to be honest. So to lose someone of his quality is a massive hit for us now. For the next part, I was saying the other day on the pod, he might return early because Egypt's not really playing that well at the moment. So fingers crossed he might come back. But I want Egypt to do well. Let's say I wanted them to do.
You don't really. Let me see your fingers. Are your fingers crossed when you're saying
that? He's hope.
Yeah. But no, I hope he does the best he can for Egypt. But yeah, it's a massive miss for him. Mane as well. He's not having the greatest periods at the moment, but he has been scoring goals.
Still a go-to player for you guys.
Contributed to the team. So to lose two attackers of their quality is massive for us because right now, other than Jota, I don't really see where the rest of the goals are going to come from in the front three.
Now, speaking of goals, this player has been on the goals for Manchester City. His name is Riyad Mahrez. Oh my days! Obviously he's going for Algeria as well. I didn't mention that, but Riyad Mahrez he's someone that Pep just has at his disposal. He's one of those players that he's skillful. He always puts in the shift, and if you don't have him in your fantasy league and he scores a brace, you're fuming. Seb, how do you think City are going to cope without their Mahrez?
City are an exception to the rule. No matter what players they don't have, they're just a machine. They're just a well-oiled machine. It doesn't matter. Like, they're playing, like, to put it like, this is what's crazy with City. They are playing without an out-and-out recognised number 9, and they are comfortably beating teams. Like, what they're doing is nuts. Riyad Mahrez going to the African Cup of Nations, not going to be an issue for them because they have that massive strength in depth. Grealish is probably going to get. Yeah, Grealish is probably going to get a few, get more minutes with Mahrez. Sterling. It's just nuts. The strength in depth for that side is just nuts, and they're doing what they're doing without a recognised out and out number 9. I mean, you can argue Gabi Jesus, but Gabi Jesus is playing out wide. He's not playing him down the middle. He's playing him out wide. They're playing with like a false 9 setup. It's nuts what they're doing. It really is. And Pep isn't getting the plaudits that he deserves for what he's doing at City.
Very true.
The thing is, though, he has done it before with Barcelona when he had Messi as a false 9. So it shouldn't be much of a surprise, really, that he can do that.
I'm not like 100% he's got it in him, but the calibre of players, when you look at that Barca team that he had and you look at the City team, City have got a phenomenal squad.
Yeah. But
compare it to that Barca squad that Pep had. Messi, Neymar, do you know what I mean? It was just nuts. And I think you kind of have to look at it, and he's doing it with the likes of Kyle Walker. He's doing it with John Stones. These sorts of players in the side. He had Carlos Puyol, Gerard Piqué at Barca. Do you know what I mean? Like,
it's fair. Yeah.
And also just to add, when Pep played a false 9 at Barcelona, he was doing it tactically, not because he didn't want to do it or he didn't have a striker. Like, he's always had a quality striker at Barca. He's had Eto'o, he's had David Villa, he's had Suarez. He's always had attackers at his disposal. But I would say since Aguero, they haven't really filled that void.
No, because they wanted Harry Kane. Let's be real. They wanted Harry Kane. They want Haaland. It looks like they're in pole position for Haaland. I think the only team that Pep, and this is quote me on this. I think the only team that Pep Man City to Haaland is if Bayern come in for it. That's the only one. That's the only one.
Do you know? I disagree with you there. I disagree. The reason why
Pep him as well,
I don't think he'll go Bayern Munich.
I don't think Bayern Munich can afford him, to be honest. Bayern Munich don't spend big on players.
United could pip him.
Not even Chelsea. Chelsea like buying strikers. They've got maybe they've bought Lukaku this season, Werner last season. Why not got Haaland as well next season as well?
They have to shift Lukaku first, though.
Maybe go back to United. And speaking of United, change. You've got Eric Bailly. He's gone to Ivory Coast. I'm pretty sure he was called back early to play in your second to last game.
Yeah,
I think he was on his way to the airport and
they called him back.
Rangnick called him back. Like, do you think he's gonna be a big miss?
Not really, because they don't play him. But for me personally, I think he's a miss because I think he should be playing with Varane every week.
And Phil Jones.
And Phil Jones. Yeah, listen, Phil Jones, he came back and he had a good game.
Let's be real
about it. He was better than Maguire. I'd rather have Phil Jones than Maguire playing for us right now. That's the truth. So listen, if Maguire came in, I'd be happy, satisfied with that for now, believe it or not. But for me personally, it's a loss. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not really, because he's going to be on the bench. And even when he plays, he seems to get injured in the 80th minute and then he's out for another month anyway. So, he usually sees through the AFCON, though. He usually sails through it, comes back to Man United and gets injured straight away. So when he does get a game. So for me, it's a loss because I think he should be partnering Varane every week. I think that would be solid. But in the grand scheme of things, it's not a loss because he's not going to play, probably.
Okay. Let's go over to our next team, Southampton. They have Musa Djenepo. He's playing for Mali now. He's been on form for Southampton. If you didn't have him in your fantasy league team, then you're kind of brewing, because he's that player that pops out of a goal every now and then. Semp, how are you feeling about Djenepo?
It's difficult because I think, like you say, he pops up with those goals. He pops up with those goals for Southampton. Southampton, I mean, bar the Brentford result, they're not known for scoring. They're not known for being free scoring. Obviously, that 4-1 victory last night against Brentford was a bit of a, whoa. And obviously Brentford feeling that Frank Onyeka absence played a part. It's going to be, where are these important goals going to come from with him not being there for Southampton? For Southampton, I think they'll struggle. I think it'll be a miss.
Okay, so the next team that we should have in alphabetical order is Tottenham, but technically they don't have anyone who's at AFCON. So we're going to go over to Watford. Watford have 4 players out. They have... You guys hear me? Oh, sorry, we went mad quiet. I got nervous. I forgot kicked out.
We're listening.
You know when you're listening so hard, like, oh my days, I just hear white noise. So Watford have William Tros Nkong. He's playing for Nigeria. They have Adam Massina for Morocco. They have Imran Loza for Morocco, and they have Ismaili Sarr for Senegal. So they have quite a few players out as well. James, sorry to bring it up, but Watford, they had a great game against you last time they played. Did any of these players? Are any of these players you're happy about seeing the back of?
No, not really. Like for Watford, because we haven't got them for a while, so we're safe from the last whooping that they gave us from there. But no, I mean, for them, on the point of view, you're probably looking at Sarr, innit? Sarr's a standout one for them. 100% that they're going to miss, particularly because they're in such a dogfight. Even though they wish they'd playing us every week. Yeah, literally. But I think for them, I think Sarr really is the big miss for them. To be honest with you, other than that, they should be able to cope with it. Messina, probably the next. That's about it. And other than that, I'd say they'd be okay. But although Sarr will be a massive miss for them.
Been in form.
A massive miss, yeah, because
good form.
They don't have. Yeah, he's been in good form, but they don't have the backup to come in for him. So in the position they're in, that could be. This is a big month for them.
Over to another player that's in form. He plays for West Ham. His name is Said Benrahma. He's playing for Algeria at the moment. Now, this is someone that's had a great rise in form, and also a rise of league as well, because I believe he came from Brentford last season when they were in the Championship, or was it the season before? And this season, like the way that West Ham been playing, he's been very, very crucial to the way that they've been getting these results. Dwayne, how do you feel West Ham can cope without their talisman or their attacker not playing for them?
To be honest, I think West Ham have been absolutely solid this season. I wasn't expecting them to be this consistent. I thought maybe last season was a bit of an anomaly, that they're doing well because a lot of other teams were slipping badly, but they've managed to maintain it, and their midfield have been absolutely solid. So Benrahma's been performing, but then you've got Fornals that can now just fill in for that particular spot. Souček's done very, very well. Rice has been more box to box this season, so it's been a good rotation in the midfield, especially between Fornals and Benrahma. So I don't think it'll be a big miss, because he actually has been playing very well this season. But I think Fornals can step in and fill the void for the next couple of weeks while he's away.
Fornals, Bowen, yeah, they've got quite a few attackers. Yeah. They should be alright.
They got a very good bunch at West Ham.
And we've got one more team to cover. Maybe we save the best till last for you, Semp. I'm not even going to tell you who this player is, but let's just say he plays Morocco. Who are you missing, Semp?
Romain Saiss. The man that is making me eat my words. Didn't rate him as a centre half. Didn't want him as a centre half. He was a midfielder by trade. Nuno converted him to a centre half, and under Bruno, he's just relishing that back three of Kilman, Cody and Sice have just been ridiculous. And he's going to be a huge miss. I was hoping that Willy Bolly would slot in. I rate Bolly. Well, I did rate Bolly higher than Sice, but it looks like we're open to offers for Willy Bolly this month. So we've bought several youngsters back off loan. In particular, Dion Sanderson from Birmingham. He's a centre half. He has had a great first half of the season with Blues. So perhaps it's going to be him that slots in at centre half next to Cody with Max Kilman. But that the chemistry that the three have got, it could cause issues. I'm hoping it doesn't, because we've got other positives. You know, Johnny's back in training after his ACL. Neto's back in training. The fact that we are where we are without Pedro Neto is mad to me. Pedro Neto coming back at this point for the back end of the season, like, teams should be concerned, because he's nuts.
It's quality.
Wow.
So, and hopefully Adama goes and we can rinse Spurs of 22 million for a player that has 0 goals, 0 assists. Thank you. Goodbye.
Wow. Okay. Jeez. Well, on that note, I forgot to say it earlier, but please make sure you like, you comment, you subscribe, and also hit that notification bell, because when we upload, but you want to know as well. Thank you so much. That's the end of today's show. We went through quite a few players. There's quite a few players in the league that are away at AFCON at the moment. I want to wish them all good luck. Especially Mo Salah. Hope he takes to the final. And hopefully he says, you know what, forget coming back to Liverpool. I want to stay in Africa a bit longer. Thank you so much, James. Thank you so much, Dwayne, and thank you, Simp. I have been Kieron, your host. Enjoy the rest of your day. Take care, everyone.
Peace.